Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Tharp, and what we're doing here is the next step in the Tableau public lab where we are importing our Spotify data into Tableau so that we can look at the energy. If you've not already done it, sign up for Tableau Public. I've already done that. I'm going to choose to sign in. And while that's doing its thing, when I get here, I want to go to my profile because that's where we're going to be working from. But what I want to show you right now is I've already created the spreadsheet that we're using the Spotify playlist spreadsheet, and I've got the data from three different um, playlists on Spotify. I'm going to close that because I'm going to need to import that into here. So after I get to my profile, what we want to do is come in and we're going to choose this create a viz. And what the create a viz does is it gives us the opportunity to drag and drop files. So in this case, we're going to be using files because we've already created the data in the spreadsheet. And so we're just going to grab that spreadsheet with all three playlists in it as separate worksheets. And what we're going to do, come in here and you'll see that here's my Microsoft playlist and or my Spotify playlist. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to sheet one. Oops, first I got to add the data source. And so we're really working in sheet one here, but we've gone to the data source tab. What we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to drag that in here. And what that's going to do is it is going to bring that data into this location. It establishes it as a data source, and you'll see it's got Doc T's Campfire Guitar in here. Now, when I go to sheet one, because that's what I was working on when I asked it to import this data, it's going to extract the data from that data source and it's going to make it available to me here. Now, right now, you can't see any data here because I haven't told it what to look at. Well, as I mentioned in the first video, we're going to be looking at the energy, but we need that to be a dimension instead of a metric. So right now it's a metric. We need to change that to a dimension. So we're going to click on that and we're going to choose convert to dimension. Notice that when you do that, it pops it up here to the top. And that allows us to come and set that as a column. And then for the rows, what we're going to do is we're looking for the count. So what we're going to do is grab this. So that's the number. That's the metric that we're going to be looking at this. And we're going to come and we're going to set that up as rows. Okay, so now you'll see that we're looking at the energy and it's got the energy of all the different songs that are in that playlist. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to rename this. So the name of this one is was Guitar Campfire, and if you don't know where to look, you can come up here and look at the data. So I'm going to call this Guitar Campfire. I'm going to click OK. You'll notice that down here it becomes. So this now becomes a table of data for us to use. Now, what we're doing is we're working towards having a dashboard that will show the difference, or it'll allow you to look at the three different data sets, which happen to be Spotify lists, together. We'll get to that. But the first thing that we need to do is we need to create a new worksheet. So we create that here. You'll notice that it's called Sheet 2. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to come up to data. So you can either go into data or you can come into new data source. Both do the same thing. And what I'm going to do, once again, I'm going to drag that spreadsheet into here. And you're going to have to do that for each one. This time I'm going to grab down the middle. I'm going to drag it in there. I'm going to come over to sheet 2. It's going to import or extract that data and move it into this web app. And when it finishes doing that, I'm going to change the name of this right away. So I'm going to click rename. You don't have to change it right away. I just want to do that so that I don't forget to do it. and then it doesn't leave me wondering. Okay, so we're back to this need of converting this to a dimension. So I click on energy, I go to convert to dimension. Whoops, I don't know what happened there. But you can always use the undo and walk backwards. So I'm going to convert energy to a dimension. And that brings it up here. That allows me to click it and drop it into columns. And then what we're going to do, again, we're going to use this number. And so now we've got two different sets of data. We've got the guitar campfire and we've got the down the middle with the data that are there. So once more, we need to go and import that third source of data. So we're going to choose sheet 3. We're going to choose connect to data. And we are once again going to drag that spreadsheet in there so that it can import the data. This time it's gotta dance. And so then I go to this sheet 3. And I'm going to rename this one. All right, so again, we're going to have to convert the energy to a dimension so that we can look at it as a dimension and a column. And then we're going to use this number as the rows because that is what we're looking at. So here's the gotta dance, here's the down the middle, and here's the guitar campfire. So that's the 3 lists that I am doing. Now, what we need to do is we want to set it up so that we can use all 3 of those on the same dashboard. So I'm clicking that dashboard layout, and what we're going to do is we're going to add the sheets there. So when I come, they're right here, the 3 that I've already laid out. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to drag it. Now with this first one, it's going to want to fill the entire space. So you drop that and it's going to drop that spreadsheet or that graph in there. Now, when I grab the second one, what I've got the options of how I want this to interact with the other data. In other words, I want these all to be one over the top. So there'll be 3, 1, 2, 3 on top of the other and then below. So I'm going to drag guitar campfire up top. Let me reduce the font in my browser here. And you can see that those have laid one on top of the other. And I'm going to choose the gotta dance. Let's just put that one in the middle here. And you've got all 3 of them. So what we now have is a dashboard that allows us to see the data from all 3 of those spreadsheets so that we have now taken data, imported it, made it visible, manipulated it just slightly. I'm going to rename this to modified playlist dashboard. You'll see that is down here. Now, this is somewhere that's gotten a lot easier than it used to be. So what we want to do is we want to publish, and we've got to give it a name. I'm going to click that, and it is going to open this up so that we can use that. Now, I'm going to go back to, I'm going to close this, which should bring me back to my account. And you'll see here is the Spotify playlist lab. Now, the way that we will share this is we will come up here to the share, click on that. Now, we could embed this onto a web page or whatever, or we can just copy the link and share that. What I would like you to do is copy that link, and before you turn it in, let's check to make sure that it is working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new in private window here. And what this means is this window has not imported the data that was associated with that other window where I was logged into Tableau. So I'm just going to come here and I'm going to paste that URL in there, and I'm going to see. So this is a way of checking to see if somebody other than you can see that data. And sure enough, there it is. So I am going to get rid of that in private tab, and I'm going to go back to the Spotify. So what I may do is I'm going to go ahead and embed this into the assignment. I'll do that later, but you'll be able to see it in that way. But that's what you need to do. Just turn in this copy link after you've tested it in a incognito or in private browser, and then you will upload that and drop that URL into the Dropbox for the assignment, and that's what you need to turn on. That's all I've got for now. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.